Like, I think that the way we interact with each other is so silly because people will be like, how are you? And I feel like a weenie for saying this, but I kind of want it to catch on also, which is, oh, I'm everything.
Yeah.
I'm tired and I'm happy and I'm excited and I'm a little nervous and I'm worried about this, but I'm psyched about that. And then they say, how are the girls? I'm like, the girls? The girls are everything.
Right.
The girls are thriving and the girls are dying and the girls are crying on their sofa and the girls are joining another thing and running for president of this and doing a job, getting a job offer there, and also miserable and also,
Right.
it's just not, it's really a denial of the way we work to suggest that one person could say to another, how are you? And the other person could give an answer.
Yeah.
Like this summary state of affairs. It's like, what, are you kidding me? Like, I kind of have a migraine. I'm sort of exhausted and I have a trip tomorrow. So I'm kind of stressed about that, but I'm really psyched because I just talked to this guy and he was really fun to talk to. And also I can't find my laptop computer charger. And it's lots happening in any given, cross section of a life.
Yeah. Yeah, I find that super helpful. Yeah, I'll apologize to people listening because I think I said this on an interview sometime in the last 6 months, but it reminds me of a friend of mine who was talking about, had gone through his own very difficult time in life, and he was in recovery and therapy, and then he was sharing how he had been to one of the big art museums either in Chicago or New York and had seen this one painting that was just white on white. It was just a canvas of white. And then he went a little further in the museum and he saw another one that was white, but just had a big blotch of red. And he said, that's what first happened to me as I got into recovery. I was like, no emotions, nothing. And then when I started paying attention to my emotions, all I knew was he was pissed and the anger of the red. And so then I went a little further in the museum and he saw this Jackson Pollock picture that was just a splash of every imaginable color. And he said, that's what I am now every day. There's a little bit of red, but there's everything else. I'm everything. And that's been so helpful to me because it just, for one, it helps me not obsess about the anger or obsess about the pain or obsess about the sad. I can be sad, but it doesn't have to be everything. I can be angry, but it doesn't have to be everything because there's, all this other stuff.
What percentage of all pain in the world is related to wanting to belong? Like a huge percentage. So we should be able to relate to each other pretty easily. And when you think about the political stuff and this division and the instant sense that you have nothing in common with a Republican or a Democrat, it's like, oh, don't be ridiculous. You've all had a first kiss. You've all had unmitigated pain. You've all lost some money. You've all made some money. You all have a parent that you love. You all have a kid that you're scared to death might be going off the rails. You all have the dream that you didn't hand in some paper in college and now you're not graduating. There's a lot that we all have. Everybody's been cold. Everybody's been hot. Everybody couldn't sleep one night. There's tons and tons of transcendent human experiences that we should be able to leverage in ways that sometimes I feel like it's this small thinking that's literally, I have nothing in common with that person. And it's no, you have 90% of your life in common with that person.
Yeah.
I really like the point I was trying to make about I'm wrong. I was wrong instead of I'm sorry. I think that's really turned out to be very valuable for me, which is to say, it's one thing to say, I'm sorry, or I'm sorry that, or I'm sorry you, or all those ways that we degrade our apologies. But to say I was wrong is such a tone changer. It's such a massive shift in the conversation. And I think there's a very specific reason why that's kind of awesome to remember, which is if I behave in a certain way, if I say something or do something, and then you say, I can't believe you did that. And I say, I'm sorry. That's I have regret. But if I say, I was wrong, what it means, I think, is we agree. We share a worldview. We agree on what is right and wrong. And we agree that that behavior is wrong. And that when we do it, either one of us, we are wrong. And that you can come back in to right. You're welcome back now. And I think what we're craving in those fights that come down to I'm sorry or I was wrong is unity. Is like, I want you to validate that my worldview is your worldview.
Yeah.
Like, we agree. This is not how we're going to act towards each other. Say it. Say that you agree with me. Let's realign shoulder to shoulder, seeing the world the way we've decided to see it all these years.
Yeah.
And that's the comfort I think we're seeking. It's not to belittle the person, and it's not to make them eat their weaknesses or, like get down on their knees and beg for forgiveness. It's kind of like the person saying, right? Like, aren't you with me here?
Yeah.
Like, isn't this the way we work? Like, recommit to me that like, this is how we work. And this is what we believe together.